How you doing? What's going on? Welcome to Daily Fuel. My name is Bobby. I am the host of this group, The Spiritual Artist, and welcome to the replay. I know you are in the replay because nobody's here yet. It's just me. So, if you're new to the group, if you're new to Daily Fuel, here's a little bit about it, right? I started this group a few months ago, back in September, and I have this thing called Daily Fuel where I go live every day except Sunday. And I was doing it every day for a while, and it was really, really good. And then all of a sudden, I kind of came to a culmination of what I was talking about. And rather than just like start over with the same topics, I kind of took a break. But now I'm getting back into doing Daily Fuel, and we are going live again. It's a lot of fun when there's a lot of people here, and right now there are 0 people here, which is kind of unusual. Usually by now there's 3 or 4 or 5, but there's literally nobody here. This is crazy. So here's a little thing to understand. When you're doing a live, if you go live on Facebook, if you're doing a live and there's nobody there, act as if there's a lot of people there. You have to just do the live. You have to do the doing. You have to do the thing. So just keep going. I see a 1 now, so there's somebody here. If you're joining me live, like Barbara, hey, I'm here. Hi, Barbara. Then please comment. Well, you already did, so I can't tell you that. Anyway, I am going to Barbara. If you give me one moment, and if you're in the replay, give me a moment. I use Ecamm Live to go live in the group, and what happens is it shows me the people who are commenting and stuff. But lately, Ecamm hasn't been working all that great. And right now, Barbara, it says your name, and I can see your face. But then some people start, commenting, and it doesn't show me who they are. So what I've been doing is I've been going on Facebook, and I meant to have this open. Here it is, so I can see. It doesn't show me who they are. So what I've been doing. You got to turn the sound off too. All right, so I can see that Barbara is here, and so you know what? I'm just going to get started as if, Barbara, this is just for you today, apparently, because nobody else is here. But so let's just get started. And by the way, Barbara, feel free to comment while I'm going, but I'm going to ignore the comments until I get to the end of my thing, and then if you're still here and you're commenting, or other people show up and they comment, then I'll go through the comments. If not, this will be short. Okay, let's do this. All right. Persona. Persona is technically the word means like a I guess it could be fake, but I don't think it has to be fake. But it's like a sort of a facade, a brand that you wear on yourself, right? Like this is what I put forth to the world. And I think that a lot of times what we end up doing is we put out something that's kind of fake, that's inauthentic, that we think is what will be acceptable to other people, or to even what's acceptable to us based on the rules of society that were drilled into our heads ever since we were born, that maybe now we believe and feel are important. But they don't always help us be authentic and be ourselves. And so the thing that I'm trying to do now is to create a new persona for myself that is more authentic for me. And I'm challenging everybody in this group to follow along and do the same for yourself. And so, as I was saying in the to the replay people a moment ago, I started Daily Fuel, and I've been talking about building this business for myself and creating a life that is based on my art, right? And actually, phase 1 was I was trying to incorporate my art more into my life. And now phase 2 is I am trying to build a life around my art, because I have come to learn that the art that I create and the projects that I work on, they're really the crux of who I am. And to not do that, to sort of put that on the back burner any longer, doesn't make sense for me. So the other day I was talking about this thing called time jumping, and if you missed it, it's the fuel. It's the Daily Fuel from a week or so ago, and it was called Phase 2. And in that one, I was talking about this concept of time jumping, where I think of a future version of me that is already like the perfect version of me. Right in the future, I'm more amazing. I'm fantastic. I've got everything, all bases are covered. Everything is exactly the way that I want it to be. And that guy exists in some future parallel universe, right? And so time jumping to me is jumping forward in time and connecting with that version of me and sort of asking, what's the rhythm of where you are, and what's happening there that I can start to latch onto those feelings and just sort of feel my way to get to where you are, right? Because a lot of times I think what happens is we start to think of, well, what actions can I take to get there? But really it's about energy and it's about feelings. So what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to define that person. I'm trying to define that future version of me and say that future version does this and that future version does that. And even down to the little things, like it's easy for me to think of the house and the cars and the clothes and stuff like that. But there are certain things like, well, that future version of me would have this in his studio or would do this every day of his life. And maybe there's sometimes mundane things, but when I realized that guy would do this and I'm not doing that, but I can do it right now. I don't have to have like $1 million to get to this place where I can do this little tiny thing. And I have to remember that. So I came up with 3 things. I really wish that whoever that is walking around my head would stop walking around my head. I schedule these things when I think no one's going to be home, and they got home like a minute before I started. So now he's just walking around on the floor on top of my head, and it's a little bit disconcerting. Anyway, so here are 3 ways that I've thought of how to do what it is that I'm trying to do. One is with the work that I'm creating, right? So when I time jump, when I think of this future version of me, what is the work that this future version of me is creating? And the answer to that has come to me through the work that I've been doing in this group, doing the Daily Fuels in phase 1, where I realized what I want to be doing is creating my Fuel Blue graphic novels. I want to be creating my music, and I want to be doing more of these Daily Fuels. I want to be creating inspirational and entertaining content for spiritual, artistic people. That's what I want to do. And the more that I do it and the more that I'm putting these things together, I feel like the more I'm creating a bridge between me and that future version of me that's got everything together, you know? Persona isn't about pretending I've got it all together and putting like the best pictures on Instagram and, you know, posing with myself in a Lamborghini. Like that's a fake facade. Persona to me is imagining what this perfect version of me is and then create. I like that. I just kind of came up with that, creating a bridge to that person, right? But it's an energy bridge. So now that I know the work that I want to do, what's stopping me from doing it? Is it, you know, that I don't have enough money to do it? No, it doesn't cost anything. I can just do it, you know? So there's nothing that's stopping me from moving in that direction. And so now I am. And it's very easy for me to feel that bridge building, to feel that connection through my art because I figured out what those projects are. And now I'm working on them. So that's number 1. Number 2 is my appearance and my personality. And a really good example of this, somebody in this group, his name is Hector. He's an excellent example of this. He posted something the other day. It was a Valentine's message. And I don't know if you've seen Hector's work, but he's very into steampunk. And man, the guy just embodies the part. Everything about him publicly exudes who he is. And it's like, I want to be more like that in my thing, you know? I want to figure out like this future version of me. How does he dress and what does he look like and how does he present himself, and then present myself more like that. I'd say I'm close, but I want to be more like that. And those are outward things so that when you look in the mirror, you can kind of see it and you can feel it more, you know? And at least that's how it works for me. Maybe that one wouldn't work for you. Maybe it's not a material thing, but for me, there's a lot of material parts to it. And so it's like, well, maybe I can't go out and get the car tomorrow, but I can get a shirt, you know? And it has that same amount of energy, even though it doesn't cost the same amount of dollars. But it puts me right in that place. And then finally, number 3 is actions that I'm taking, especially within my business. My business is a huge part of who I am, and being an entrepreneur is a huge part of my identity. So for me, there has to be a business aspect to everything that I'm doing. And I've kind of put that on the back burner recently because I would make the mistake of trying to figure out the business angle and then say, ooh, well, I could sell this to these people, so let me go and figure out how to make art that fits in that. And that never worked for me, because what I'd end up doing is I'd end up coming up with an idea, and it would be something that wasn't sustainable for me because I didn't like it. And so then eventually I would give up on that idea and just be like, I don't want to do this. I've been doing it for a month or a year or however long, and now I'm bored. So now I've said, okay, let me put the art first and figure out, I want to do this. And now I'm ready to sort of bring the business into it and be like, okay, well, if this is what I'm creating, what business models can I play with to bring this to fruition? And so for me, that's a very important piece of the puzzle. So anyway, that's really it. This one is sort of an introduction to what I'm really going to be hitting upon as we move forward. I want to do daily fuels more often. I would like to get back to doing them every single day, actually, except Sundays. And I'm not, we'll see. So I'm planning to do one tomorrow. I'm going to take this day by day, step by step, and just see how it goes. But that's kind of where I am right now. And I just see, I'm just going to say hello to whoever's here. Let me see, it says Kirsten is here. Hello, Kirsten. And Marcia is also watching with you. And Marcia said, good evening, Bobby. Hello, how are you? And Barbara just dropped. Wow, Barbara, that's an essay. Let's see what it says. I had a vision, a daydream, if you will. A few years back, it was me, alone in my studio, my own place, creating beautiful art. My jewelry content. Very happy, very content, very happy listening to music. Here I am in my studio in my own home, creating every single day, doing almost exactly what was in my daydream. While it isn't my main source of income, I don't care. I'm creating and loving and sharing. I like the energy bridge you speak of. Thank you. I feel I crossed that bridge, and now where does my new bridge lead me? Good question. Wherever I'm heading, I love it. That's great. I think that's really good. And you hit upon something that's important to understand, is that this can happen in steps. And I think that you said something there. It's not my main source of income. And maybe I'm not going to put words in your mouth, so I don't know if you mean it's not my main source of income and it's not going to be, or it's not my main source of income yet. And whatever the answer is for you is fine. For me, it would be yet, right? Because I want what I'm building to be my main source of income, and maybe you don't, and that's okay. There's no right or wrong to that. But what I'm learning is that I can be happy, as you're explaining, before it becomes the main source of income. Whereas in the past, it was like that would be the one and only finish line of success is, yay, I made it. Now this is my source of income, and I can finally exhale and be happy and proud of myself. No, that's really silly, because there are so many steps to this, and you're taking them, which is great to see, and I'm taking them too. So we'll keep taking them together. And Marcia says, I love this concept of time jump and creating off of this persona as to what I want to become in my creative business life. Thank you. I like this concept too. We're going to be talking about it more. You're going to hear me talking about persona and time jumping a lot as we move into phase 2 here. So I'm glad that you like it. And Kirsten says, action. That is where I am at. I am finding myself and bringing it all together. Yeah, I love your posts recently, Kirsten. I'm glad to see that you're coming back into your art and your drawing and your painting, and that's really wonderful. And I love seeing it. So keep sharing it, and thanks for being here today. And Barbara says, yet. Yet, right. Yet. It's not my main source of income yet. Haha, yes. Good. Wonderful. Well, I'm glad that you cleared that up. So if that is the last comment today, well, that was a light one. Okay. Well, sometimes they're light. What are you going to do? Well, Barbara, you can have the booby prize for the day. I give a booby prize to the person who comments last on the live, and usually I announce the booby prize at the end and then keep talking, and somebody else swoops in and comments and they steal the booby prize. So we'll see if that happens. But if not, I'm going to hit finish and we can be done with this one. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. If you're watching in the comments, definitely in the comments. If you're watching in the replay, let me know you're in the replay. Hashtag replays, people, whatever you like, and comment, please. I like that. So I will see you guys. I'm planning on tomorrow. So let's just say that right now. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.